Hey, man.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Uniweb interview show. I'm your host, Matthew Whiteside. Today I'm joined by the wonderful Andrew McDonald. Andrew, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Having a great time.
It looks like I caught you in the middle of a spaz out.
Well, I was faced by Galactus here on the other side, and if you can't see my little interview co-interviewers, I figure Golden Age Flash is kind of more my speed.
Yeah, man. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah,
Do you,
I'll have
so
to
do
give you a
you
panoramic
collect?
view around the room.
Do you collect?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't spend tons of money. Most of it's flea market stuff and this and that. But over the years, well, you got to see the rest of my house because you really wouldn't believe it.
It's pretty nuts. Is it like a sanctuary for nerds and geeks and sci-fi
Yes.
sci-fi lovers?
Luckily for me, my wife was good with my 20 million books stacked everywhere, all covered and surrounded by action figures.
That's wonderful.
I
You know,
leave a little room for her tassel dolls.
there's like no bookshelves. It's just stacked up everywhere.
Oh, there's lots of bookshelves, but my books were on those a long time ago. I got no room for bookshelves.
So Andrew, you would say you love to read, huh?
Oh yes, absolutely. Been reading since I was 4 years old. My mama taught me young.
Awesome, man. So, you've published one book so far, right? And you're working on another?
Correct. My
Awesome.
current.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead and tell us about your book.
Well, if you want to see it here, it's called
Yeah.
The Punishment and Good Deeds. It's put out by Page Publishing, which means I paid for it.
Yeah.
But it is a thriller about a ex-Air Force guy who comes back right after retirement, and all he wants to do is run a little karate studio in Tampa, where he lives with his wife and daughter. Unfortunately, he gets kind of caught up in a big mess one day when he stops a mugging of an elderly lady, and turns out that the mugger was the nephew of I guess you'd call him a mobster, crime syndicate guy, whatever. Not a nice guy. And
Okay.
so the crime syndicate guy sends out some thugs to burn down his karate studio, because he doesn't like people who put his nephew in the hospital.
Right.
And
It's understandable.
yep, one of his young students, a young girl about 16 years of age, and a foster kid that he took in that was kind of on the streets, get caught up in that mess. From there, it just kind of escalates. If you look at the prologue, it starts with a prison scene in actuality, but that is actually set like 3 years into the full story,
Okay.
because in order to broker a peace, he actually ends up making a deal and saying, look, I'll go to prison, I'll plead guilty to assault, whatever, as long as you leave my family alone. So he spends 3 years in prison, gets out only to have things turn worse than ever. So yeah, I kind of think of it almost like Jack Reacher meets Mac Bowling, but with family and friends.
Oh,
Because
nice.
he teams up with somebody who was actually related, believe it or not, to the bad guy, and
Okay.
the young girl and an old army buddy. Oh, sorry, Air Force. I was in the army. My character was in the Air Force, and together
Did
they
you
end up
put him in the
meeting
Air
at
Force
the.
for any reason? Did you put him in the Air Force for a certain reason?
Not really. I had a brother that was in the Air Force, but my father, my older brother, and me were all Army. It was just okay. I want to make him an ex-soldier, but what the hell? Let's turn another brick and say he was Air Force. No real reason.
I wanted to ask too. What was the inspiration for writing the book?
Well, I've got a extensive background, and not only in the military myself. I went to college on an ROTC scholarship.
Okay.
Graduated with a BS in mathematics, but then of course I owed Uncle Sam a few years after that. So I was in the military back
Okay.
in the 85 to 92. So I got to see a little bit of Desert Storm.
You mean
Although
doesn't storm?
Desert Storm, yes. Not Desert Storm.
I'm so sorry about
But beyond that, I mean, I was only in 7 years. Beyond that, my father was career military, and then he became a police officer down here in Cocoa Beach, Florida. And he was actually president of our county police benevolent association, the cops union.
Okay.
And then after I got out of the military, I started dispatching, and I've been doing that ever since. I've been dispatching 911 since December of 92, with a 1 year hiatus there number of years back, when we moved to New York for a year where my wife was home and then came back. So, I mean, as far as the stuff that's in it, I kind of a connection, but But why I wrote it, I try to write funny stuff and all that, and I can write a comedy routine. But when I go to write a story, for some reason, it just comes out serious. So, and I have no clue how to write a mystery.
Uh-huh.
So, it's like the who done it. Yeah, hell, I know who done it. You might as well too. So we'll just make it a thriller.
Right. Might as well. Okay.
So, I mean, John Sanford, James Clavell, Greg Iles, those kind of guys as far as, what I like. But I just want to put something out there that somebody else can enjoy, while away the time in a different universe.
So you would say, I mean, you obviously compared to Jack Reacher, so you would say you enjoy the thriller, just the fast-paced action of it all?
Yeah, I do. But you got to have characters with some background and some emotion and all that as well. It can't be just pure action. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like fast pace and action with a little bit of depth.
I do too, man. I feel like that. I feel like some people call it guilty pleasure reading, like Lee Child stuff is guilty pleasure, like Grisham. Um, but honestly, like, man, that stuff, if it's easy to read and it's enjoyable, I feel like that's what a book should be. It should be.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't always sit on the couch and escape into the television, And I know
No,
that, unfortunately, today not as many kids read as they used to, and we know that for a fact. But
yeah,
because of the electronic age, they're all on
sure.
their phone, their iPad, or whatever. But reading, I will never feel guilty for reading.
No.
But I fell in love with. I guess it became a lifelong thing because when I was 5 years old, age
Mhm.
5 to 7, my father was stationed in Taipei, Taiwan. So I was there for first and second grade, and I had got a disease in my feet,
Mm.
which was kind of rare over here. And basically, I was crippled for 2 years. So if
Wow.
I'd been older, I might be in a wheelchair today, but I did manage to get past it. But yeah, in that 2 years, books were my life. I mean,
Yeah.
they really were. That and riding around on the back of a scooter with this little old Chinese guy we call Papa Ho, who was our landlord. You should have seen. I mean, I was tiny. When I was 5, I probably looked like I was 3.5. You should see the looks we gave this little old Chinese guy riding around Taiwan on this moped thing with this itty bitty white kid.
Did you have your feet up and everything, wrapped and bandaged?
uh, I think there was cast for a while, but for the I mean, I mean, probably a little over a year before, because in essence, what happens is the bones of the foot kind of swelled,
Yeah.
shattered, dissolved, grew back.
Oh wow.
Which, yeah. And the weird thing was, when we came back from
Wow.
Taiwan, although I was mostly over it, we went to see a doctor on the base back here in the States, and this poor doctor had never even heard of Kohler's disease before. Never
Mhm.
heard of it. And on the same day that my parents brought me in, some other couple brought in this little girl who had the same thing. It's like,
Oh wow.
what? It's like, what the hell? It's a small world.
It's, wow, man. Stumping doctors. That's cool that you started young reading like that. It was like a way for you to go experience life without being able to actually go do it. But I find it interesting too that, I mean, obviously you grew up in the military family. As soon as you were able to, it sounds like you got to work and started being of service yourself. Sounds like, I mean, for the past, since your adult life, you've pretty much been of service to either your country, your community, and that sort of thing. Is that an important thing for you, being of service to others?
Yeah, it always kind of has been. I mean, growing up in the military, I discovered one simple fact. I don't care whether you're in Korea, Germany, Taiwan, wherever. It doesn't matter. People are people.
Mm.
You know,
I love it,
it,
man.
it,
Yeah.
it just doesn't matter. And I love people,
Yeah.
and I want to help. The military, I wasn't great. I wasn't fantastic on moving around, a whole lot. I'm more of a settle down type.
Yeah.
So that's why I got out after 7 years. Besides, at the time, they were cutting way back, and they paid me $33,000 to say, go ahead and leave service. We're cutting back right now. We'll give you the money. Of course, that didn't last. But
Yeah. That's so awesome, man. Nobody's ever paid me to leave.
yeah, it's quite a feeling. It's like, I'm not sure whether to be insulted or gratified.
I guess you just take the money and worry about it later, right?
Yep. It,
Worry
it
about it
was
while you're doing it.
it was funny though, as far as that goes. Remember, I said $33,000 in essence in like traveler's checks and whatever. I mean, I've got this in a briefcase. Fly home from Germany. Go to Columbus, Georgia, because my parents were right outside of there at the time, living there, outside of Columbus. And I go to rent a car so I can drive out to their place. Now here I am. I basically got $33,000 in essence in cash on my person. I couldn't rent a car because I was officially unemployed. I had to take a taxi all the way out to
Oh my God, man.
Georgia from.
Oh my gosh. Those car rental places. I used to work for a car rental place. We're very strict people.
Absolutely. It's like, dude, I could buy the car right now, but sure, whatever, I'll take a taxi.
Telling you, I don't know if you want to buy from a rental place.
No.
I've seen
No.
some. I've seen some pretty bad ones. I used to work down at Enterprise in Chattanooga, and oh man, saw some bad cars. Saw some pretty nasty cars.
I'm sure. They get a
So,
lot of
so you're working on your next book now too, right?
Yeah, it's called The Killing Keys. Temporarily, that may change, but I kind of like it. Basically,
Is this a sequel or?
no, it's unrelated. I did leave the first one open for a sequel. I mean, after the good guys win, of course, we do have one main bad guy left, kind of making a to-do list of names.
Okay.
Where it leaves off, but I wasn't really feeling the sequel on that one, so I moved on to something different with younger characters.
I got you.
And this one, like I said, is called The Killing Keys. 10 chapters, 100 pages in. I put it down for a little while, went back over the last few days and reread it and did some minor editing. And personally, I think it's pretty good. But it's about a young man, 19. He works in his uncle's locksmith shop. His father has passed away, so he lives in an apartment with his mother in Merritt Island, Florida. And he valets on weekends at an expensive restaurant in the area. And, of course, you can kind of imagine the opportunities between locksmithing and people who hand valets their keys.
Yeah.
where that could kind of go.
It's a nice way to get a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about renting a car then.
Yeah. Right. Mom's job is in jeopardy. She runs tours out of Kennedy Space Center, but they're, slowly dying down. And they may lose their apartment soon. Then he gets in a big issue with the valet thing and gets highly upset, does something stupid, and doesn't, without realizing that there's a witness who photographs her and such when this occurred. And he ends up kind of half jumping in with both feet and half blackmailed into getting into this burglary scheme with this other guy.
Okay.
But he doesn't know is that this other character, who's a few years older, like 23 at this time, something like that. But this other character, it has basically he's a sociopathic killer. So, of course, our main character doesn't know that. So he gets wrapped into this scheme, trying to help mom and all that. And then, of course, he and his girlfriend and his friends, teenage friends, they have to figure out how to get him out of this. At this point, none of his friends know what's going on, but they're soon to find out. We'll have our little hacker kid, the girlfriend, and various other characters in there. I feel kind of at home more. I like to read a lot of young adult. I think I like the younger characters, I guess.
Yeah, I do too. The coming of age story is always a fun story to read, right? Because we can all relate to it. We're always coming of a certain age, right? It's like
absolutely. I am coming of that second childhood age right about now.
That's right, man. Hey, I'm there too. I think actually I don't know if this is my first or not, but anyway, so it sounds like a pretty cool story. I was gonna ask because I like to kind of get people's different perspective on this. So do you usually plot your stories out before you write them, or do you just kind of fly by the seat of your pants? Are you a pantster?
I have. I have a general idea and general, these ideas will get stuck in my head, but they're just kind of general outlines. For the most part, I sit down, I pick up a pen, and I start writing and see where it goes. I mean, I'm not a big plotter.
You write longhand? Like you don't type it out first, or
I jot notes and ideas and all that, but for the most part, I do use the laptop for most of the writing.
I was gonna say, man, when I first started writing, I was doing it longhand, and then like I was going to transcribe it, and I was like, never again. Because like I can't read my writing half the time.
I kind of started that way with the first novel. I, the legal pads,
Yeah.
and the pen and good old yellow line, scratch, 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 scratch. It's a lot easier to boop, boop, delete, boop, boop, delete, boop, boop, add.
I always feel I will say this. I feel safer writing with pen on paper than I do typing on a computer because I always feel like I'm formatting while I'm writing on the computer. But when I'm working in my notebook, it feels more free to just write down ideas. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
I
I don't
think
know.
there's something about typing it that makes it feel more permanent, I guess.
Yeah, even though it's like it's not obviously, but
No.
I'm like, how lazy am I? I can't even press backspace.
Well, my laptop for some
I'll just
reason,
throw a notebook away
yeah,
instead.
I'll be with this laptop. I don't know if it's me hitting something, as because it's not the normal typewriter size keyboards that I grew up with, but
Yeah,
I'll be typing and I look up and I'm like 8 lines above where I was supposed to be typing and inserting stuff where it doesn't belong. It's like, whoa. Yeah.
yeah. What the hell's going on? I know
Exactly. What the
it just
hell?
jumps around on you. But they have some cool stuff out now. They're like these little. I can't even remember the name of it. Like these little. They're like typewriters slash computers that
Mhm.
don't connect to the internet or don't have anything else, but they're just simply made for writing. But it's to keep you from being distracted by all the other stuff and then have any of those, typing issues like you were just talking about with the cursor jumping around. I can't remember the name of it now. So
I
that's
don't
pretty.
know. I'm
I like
constantly
bringing up important things and then forgetting the name of it.
absolutely.
That's because
But
I'm
but it's great
successful.
to have the access right there. Just to minimize, Google. Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Restore,
exactly.
go.
Store. Man, I'm telling you what, too, with that, like having a dictionary on the Word document, I am the worst. I must be the worst speller in the history of the world. I don't know, like I know what the word is for sure.
Hmm.
But if I can't spell it to save my life, what's the hardest thing you find about writing? Or the most thing you struggle with the most?
I think it's more than anything, kind of trying to voice the inner thoughts and feelings. You've
Mm,
got to be able to put yourself into the heads of all these different people. You have to
yeah.
be all these different people to a
Oh yeah.
point. You know what I mean? And it's you have to sit back sometimes. Okay, what the hell is this idiot thinking? Doing this. But
I know it helps to be a little schizophrenic at times, right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
hey, all four of us here are doing great. Me, myself, I, and Andy. Yeah, I
I'm
got
yeah,
three
just,
babies.
I don't know. I get pretty good into writing women characters. I don't know if because I grew up around women a lot, but I feel like I can get inside a woman character really well. That sounded weird.
I'm sure you've had lots of practice. However,
That's not how I meant it. That's not how I meant it.
yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean,
Yeah.
aside from being married for 33 plus years, kind of beside the point. I've never been one of these guys that ever thought that women were not completely, totally, and absolutely equal, if not superior to men. And
Yeah.
it's just a basic fact. I couldn't do half of
Agreed.
what some of them do. But I see it because maybe it's because you spend so much of your teenage years trying to get inside the head of these women.
That's it, man. I think that's it.
It's like,
It's
what
like
can I do to make her like me?
we become psychology professors trying to figure
Yep.
out. I know. Yeah, my characters in my two books that I've done so far are the women in them are like the strongest character. I mean the protagonists are both men, but the women end up being like the heroes of the story
Mm-hmm.
because like the women I've been around growing up are freaking amazing.
Yeah. The uh, the wife in my first novel, in The Punishment and Good Deeds, isn't really a major character. I won't really tell you why. You have to find out. But the
I bought the book too, by the
did
way.
you? Awesome,
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm gonna read
The
it. It sounds awesome.
well, just remember it is a first novel. I personally I think it's pretty good, but I did get one review a while back that said that there were some digressive parts of the book that he thought probably could have been cut. But even that guy said that the main story was quite interesting enough that he moved on through those and read the whole book because it was good. So I'm all right with that.
Good.
Everybody else
Yeah.
reviewed it originally. Apparently really liked it. However, back to the 16-year-old, who was one of our character, Thomas Mizuko is his name, as a matter of fact, the Air Force guy. His 16-year-old female student, who's a victim in chapter 5, along with the imposter boy. She comes back, and trust me, she kicks some serious ass.
Nice.
In this book. So I'm all right with that.
That's it, man. Yeah, you want your characters to show some grit, right?
Yep.
Especially the female characters. That's very cool. Okay, so where can we find your work? I'm gonna link everything on the video when I post it. All right. So it'll be on my YouTube, it'll be on Twitter and Facebook and on my blog. But I want everybody also to know where they can find you. So website, where they can buy your book, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. You can, of course, look it up on Amazon.com. You can order it in a paperback version or Kindle, along with a few of those little short stories you were mentioning.
Will you hold up the book again?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Thanks. It's an awesome cover, by the way.
Yeah, when they asked me what I wanted, I was told them I was kind of envisioning just a guy, basically a white guy in about his 40s, kind of gritty, dirty, with flames behind him, and that's what they come up with. So,
it works, man.
I liked it.
It looks cool.
The thing was, to me, this kind of almost looks like it's supposed to be medieval. This almost looks like chainmail, but I can overlook that. Still a cool picture.
Yeah, it is a cool picture. So we can find that on
Amazon, of course.
Amazon.
You can order it through Barnes and Noble. Hopefully soon you can get it on the library shelf. I'm working on that. But my site that I made for myself here recently is on Wix. It's at Wix.com. It's PB Patch, PBPATCH, .wixsite.com/PBPatch.
Okay.
So, I mean, anybody that can go there. There's links also. I've posted links, and matter of fact, on my profile on Twitter, there's a link to that. I do believe.
Okay. I'm gonna post links of all that stuff onto my blog as well, so people will be able to click on it and go straight to your stuff. Is there anything? So, just kind of wrapping up here. Is there anything? First, so the book is Punishment and Good Deeds by Andrew McDonald. Andrew, the last word, man. Is there anything you want to leave the world? What legacy are you looking to leave, and let people know that you were here?
Well, I mean, other than, of course, the 4 wonderful now adult children and grandkids, I just want to leave the world with something that they can pick up off a shelf one day when they're feeling stressed or whatever, the world's getting them down, that they can pick up and thumb through and just lose themselves for a few hours, and just spend a little time away.
Yeah.
It is what we all need, an escape.
Yeah.
And if I can provide that to somebody, the way books did me when I was growing up, I'll be a happy man.
That's awesome, man. No, we're on the same page there. That's why I want to do it too. I want people to feel that, somewhere that they can go, they can smile,
Would you like a quick view around this room? I think we lost you.
It's important to get over here.
I don't know if you're freezing or me.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, we froze up. I don't know if this is still recording.
Andrew, can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Okay, yeah, you froze up.
Hey.
You're still
frozen. Yeah, I know the connection went bad for a minute. I was just going to say thank you so much for coming on with me. I really appreciate it. I'm excited about doing this. You're an awesome dude. I can't wait to read your book. And I hope everybody else out there on the uniwebs, where all people become one people, check it out. No fighting.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for your service, too, by the way.
Thank you. And I truly appreciate what you're doing for all of us, man. It's fantastic. You have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.